All right, we are starting the second week now when we're actually looking at content, right? First week, if you're a person that is just now starting to be able to get into the course, the first week we were just doing the orientation, right? So making sure that everyone could do a Dropbox, everyone could do a discussion post and email me. This past week though, you should have done your creative process. For that creative process, you read through and this is how the course works, right? That Minds On section is always gonna have stuff that you need to read through. An action, maybe you're taking a note or writing something down or doing a discussion post, and then the consolidation, the last part, which is like where the activity is, right? And for the week, because I was getting some emails throughout the week being like, how should I structure my week? It's not like, so I will always post on Monday. What I post on Monday is due by Friday, and then the following Monday, I will open up more of the course, right? I know for those first couple days when we were doing the orientation, I had the entire course open, so you could kind of look through everything, but that was just for that week so that you could kind of look through the course. But now that we're into it, in order to pace ourselves through it, I'm gonna open up stuff on Monday. That stuff should be finished by Friday, and I will give an amount that you can finish in the week with some leeway, right? It's not like for every single day of every single minute for that 75 minutes that you should be working on something, right? Because just in a classroom, there's some breathing time to get stuff done. But a good way to always do it is the Monday, you're just reading the content. And especially for this week, the content is a little bit longer to read because we're gonna be looking at the elements of photography and there's a lot more to read. So I would recommend Monday, you're just reading through the content. Tuesday, there is, when you get to the action section, a handout that you're gonna fill out. You do not have to hand this one in, but it's just for you to make some notes. And then for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I would actually be doing the consolidation and filling out and taking your pictures and putting them into the file. And this is the part where if you rush through it, you could get it, you could just be like click, 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 and it took a bunch of pictures. But I want you to try to take some time with this one because this is gonna be your elements of photography, like dictionary of what does this word mean and what is a picture it represents. So for this week's activity, when you are actually taking your pictures, you are going to find an inspiration picture on the internet. You are going to take a picture, and it doesn't have to resemble the inspiration picture exactly, but say you're taking leading lines and you found a nice example on the internet of leading lines, you're gonna take a picture that has leading lines. The third picture is going to be, hold on, let me find your proof of originality. Just so, it's these are photographs, so it'd be pretty easy to just take a bunch of pictures off the internet. But you're gonna hold up a little dude, right? I got my little bobblehead Mountie here. So say I took a picture of my hallway at school, which had leading lines. The third picture, and it doesn't have to be anything professional, I would just hold this guy up and go click, and hold up my originality proof character in the image. I actually enjoy seeing people's originality choices as part of the funnest part of it. Some people might hold a globe. Some people might be like, I have a GPS, and they hold a GPS up in the picture and go click. And then I know you have your second picture is your nicely framed picture, and your third picture is just your originality proof, where you hold something up into the same image so that I know you actually took that picture. When you read through it, it'll be nice and clear, and I'll show an example when we go through. All right, looking at your creative process phases, I hope you enjoyed that activity. It's always fun to think about your own creativity and what it takes for you to be creative. I loved looking at the different phases. Some of you did a very nice job of being able to use the Photoshop and lay the pictures in behind. Very nicely done. Everyone else, like say you were just putting smaller images in it, that is perfectly fine as well, but it's always good because Photoshop is a difficult software to learn because it's got lots of features, right? Which is the great thing about it, but the downfall is it's like, wow, there's a lot of buttons to figure out. But we'll take it slow and we'll learn them as we go through the course. All right, so this, it's Monday now, so you should have over the weekend or on the Friday, handed in your creative process face to a Dropbox. And last week you should have finished a discussion post where you posted on the discussion post someone that inspired you or inspires you to be creative. And people were also asking, do we have to comment on other people's? I'm gonna put that one, I'm gonna say, it's always good if you comment, right? That's gonna push your mark even higher because I can see how many people you've all commented to. But that's definitely like, so say you're done and it's a Thursday or a Friday and you're like, oh, I finished everything I needed to do for the week. That's definitely a point where you should go in and comment on other people's discussion posts, because by that point in the week, there will be a decent amount of comments and discussion posts for you to read other people's comments on other people's posts and things like that. So, you know, you might, if say you do it on Monday, say you did the discussion post on Monday and you're like, well, there's nobody for me to comment on because you were the first one to make the post. Later on in the week, there should be more posts, so you got to kind of revisit it and go back to it to see other people's comments. So that's kind of how a discussion post works. It might be a little bit slow in the beginning because everyone's just generating their posts, but you check back at the end of the week and then you'll see everyone's posts. And you can comment and see who did other people find inspiring, because it's nice to see, you know, what type of people are out there in terms of what we find creative. Some people chose music artists, some people chose photographers, some people chose painters, right? There's all different, some people chose family members for who gave inspiration, right? All of us find inspiration from different spots. And as I look just on my shelf here, right, even reading about creativity, like Creativity Inc., Creative Confidence, The Creative Habit, right? When I talked about creativity being a skill, it is something you practice and you can actually get better at honing your own creativity and then being able to do stuff with it. So this week, you will only have one thing that you are submitting to a Dropbox. There is the handout that you're gonna fill out based on the reading, but you don't have to hand that in. You're gonna hand in, though, at the very end, the 7 elements of photography, that handout with the internet picture, your inspiration picture, the picture you took to kind of like, say it was a leading lines in a hallway, then you took a picture with leading lines, and this should be a nicely framed one. Then your third picture is your quick originality proof. That one doesn't have to be like nicely framed or anything like that. Just snap a quick one with some kind of a little character in the picture so that I know, yep, this is you taking the actual picture. All right. I loved seeing your stuff last week. I look forward to seeing what you guys have in store this week. Keep the creativity coming, right? Come up with like fun ideas. All right, so let's start to go through the actual hub page, right? So right now I am going to, all right, you can see these have these little eyeballs that you guys can't see it. I'm gonna open it up. And we are now on Elements and Principles of Photography. We are going to click on the first tab. And as I talked about before, there's a Minds On section, and you can see my little mouse moving around, an Action section, and a Consolidation section. If you click it, it automatically jumps right to it, right? So it's a nice way to quickly navigate as the week progresses through the content. So for our Minds On section, and you should be doing today, right? This is your Monday activity. I want you to read through it, and I want you to take your time, look at the images, and really try to understand the different elements that if you incorporate these into your photographs, automatically will heighten the level of your photography, right? So the first one is line, and I give a couple examples, right? The lines don't always have to be a vanishing line, like the second one, right? They just might be horizontal lines showing direction of movement, right? So I want you to read through this, different angles, what different lines can mean. The other one is shape and form, right? Now you're trying to capture like a silhouette. You're just trying to capture a form, right? I actually can't see those trees. So shape and form is the next one. Then you have space. Space is when you are incorporating empty space, right? There can be positive space and negative space, right? You can see just the fact that this one line of smoke coming up from the match head, or the amount of darkness in this stage presentation, really adds to the effect of the image, right? So you don't always have to fill the picture, right? It might be good to leave a lot of space, right? Same thing, the positive and negative space in these two pictures, right? This picture of this plane against a white sky adds a lot to that image, same as a kayaker in a blue body of water. Value is often associated with black and white pictures, but it can also be different hues of the same color. And then texture, right? Trying to make it actually, like when you look at the image, you're feeling the texture of that image. And then the last one is color, and when you incorporate all of these different elements into your photographs, right, your pictures will automatically start to be heightened in when someone sees it, they really want to examine it and look at it. So then we have our action section, and this maybe you're going to be doing on Tuesday. There are 7 videos that you're going to watch on YouTube. They're short, and each one focuses on one of the 7 elements. So that would be this link right here, Elements of Photography YouTube series. You know, it maybe take 15-20 minutes to sit and watch each one because they're only like 3-minute videos. And then you have the handout for Elements of Photography. This is one where you can now go back and kind of take some notes on what you read on Monday. Then for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these are now where you're going to be taking your pictures, focusing on those elements, and you're gonna organize it as such. Here is my inspiration, my online photo. I went and took a photo of a hall of Orchard Park. And then my originality proof, I took that little Mountie, just stuck it in the image real quick, took another picture just to show it's like, yep, that was me taking that picture. So I'm gonna click on that bottom link and it's gonna open it up, and this is what you can use as your template to fill it out, right? It's got the instructions again, it has the example. So for line, your internet photo, your personal photo, your originality photo, with a brief description of what you were trying to capture, right? What are the lines I should be looking for? Then shape, form, space, value, texture, and color, right? So for each day, maybe you're doing 2 of those, right? So you're gonna walk around your school, maybe you're in the Learning Commons, and you're gonna look around, and you're gonna be like, all right, where are some leading lines, right? Bookshelves, books, right? Good way to create shape and form. You could be looking for color, but I would recommend finishing 2 a day. So if you finish 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and there's 7, so you gotta get like one of those days has to have 3. And then you filled your week and it doesn't ever seem overwhelming, the amount of content. All right, if you do not wanna use this template, right, I provided the template right here at the bottom. But you could just make a slideshow if you want, right? If you're a person who's more comfortable making a slideshow with those 3 images with a little description, you can totally do that. And then you upload this to the Dropbox. And the Dropbox will be called Elements of Photography. All right, hopefully that all makes sense. Once again, see you guys next Monday.